Alafia. In Nigeria, my father's homeland, peace is called Alafia. A beautiful name for a state that we all seek for, more or less. To me, peace is like a gentle embrace that makes my heart beat calm and allows me to dance barefoot in the rain, no matter how cold or gray it is. But as beautiful peace is, sometimes we struggle to let go the chains of violence so we can reach the state of Alafia. Can we as adults achieve inner peace by conscious choices that helps us release the inner chaos, not just for ourselves, but for the next generation, for the children? There's an African proverb. It takes a whole village to raise a child. But not everyone in the village has good intentions. When I was 10, I was a small, skinny girl, and I loved wearing my hair in braids. But one day it was time for new versions of myself, so I decided to open my braids and show the world my curls. I loved it. But my cousin Tom, a strong, tall man in his 30s, he didn't. He hated it. In Nigeria, braids are not only there for protection. They stand for tradition, for identity, and for cultural pride. When he saw me open up my braids, his face filled with anger. "What have you done with your hair?" he asked. I tried to explain that I just want to express a new version of myself. But before I could start, he grabbed me and a pair of scissors and braid after braid after braid, he cut my hair. I screamed. The people around us didn't intervene because they were too afraid of him. When he was done, only patches of hair were left. And I was there on the ground, and the little Latifa began to ask herself, why? Why did he do this to me? What have I done to deserve it? And why can a grown-up man can do this to a little innocent girl? It wasn't the first time I have experienced violence, and it wouldn't be the last. I love to be creative. And when I was 12, I were in my uncle's home, and there I found a big table full with paintbrushes, color, and glue. Immediately, I had an idea what I'm going to do with this. I wanted to create a 3D picture of a mountain and people walking up the path and a beautiful sunset behind them. Without thinking, I started to mix the glue and the color, and I was so excited. And suddenly, my Uncle Michael knocked on the door and opened the door. And he saw me, and he was so angry. I didn't thought it was a bad idea since we share everything in the family. But I also didn't know that this were his expensive building material for work. So, in his anger, he grabbed a slipper and pulled up my shirt and beat me once, twice, over and over again, till my skin was red and swollen. After that, I couldn't barely walk. And it was this moment when a voice started to echo in my head whenever I tried to express myself. Don't do this. Don't even think about it. It will just bring you pain. Have you ever been in a situation where you question everything, even your own worth, because someone you love hurts you the most? Children can endure so much. They can experience violence one day, and by the next day, they offer you forgiveness, because this is simply the nature of a child. But when adults repeat a negative behavior over and over again, even a child's heart cannot continue to forgive and forget. Instead, they reflect on the behavior of the surrounding adults and copy them. What we repeat, they learn. With each expression and experience of violence, I become smaller and sadder inside. As I grew up to a teenager, I was filled with anger. How could others be happy while I suffer inside without no way out? When I was 14, I hanged out with a group, and no, we weren't a gang. And we weren't the cool kids you may know from the movies. We were good kids, we were. But we were quite loud and awkward. And among us was a girl. She was so beautiful, and everyone loved her. And her name was Joy. And as usual, Joy made a joke. And everyone laughed, but I didn't feel like laughing. And she nagged me and said, "Come on, that is funny." But still, I didn't feel like laughing. Instead, anger built up inside me. And suddenly, I took a hot teapot full with poured water and threw it over her. She was shocked, and I was shocked, and everyone around us was shocked. How could I do this to Joy? I, the girl who have experienced violence by myself, how could I be like the people who hurted me the most? I have learned that violence is normal. I saw it in the media, I saw it in my environment, and now I could see it in me. What does the world expect a child to become after such kind of experience? And where was peace? Where was Alafia? Over the years, with each experience and expressions of violence, I felt worthless. And feeling worthless makes me angry, because as everyone, I just wanted to feel worthy. So I chose coping methods, like taking drugs or smoking cigarettes. And I even went to therapy. But no matter what I have done, I couldn't let go my past. It was like a dark cloud was always over me, and I didn't know how to get it away. In 2016, I reached my lowest point. I was lying on the floor, and I smoked, and I cried, and I drank. My husband has just told me that he couldn't stay with me because he couldn't handle my anger anymore. And my son couldn't stay with me because I couldn't get my life together. I felt so alone. Lying there, didn't know what to do next. I remembered Ben. Ben is a wonderful person, and we had sometimes good conversations. And he gave me his number in case I ever needed help. And I needed him now. So I called him and told him everything. Ben, I have no job, no money, and soon no home. And over the years, I have pushed everyone away from me because I have blamed them for my emotions and my way of living. And in his calm voice, he said, Latifa, listen, come to me. You can stay as long as you need it. Living with Ben, an angel on earth, truly he is an angel on earth, I discovered the power of inner peace. He provided me a safe space so I could confront myself to my painful past. Whenever I get angry, he walked over me and he said, "How are you?" And after a while, he would say, "It's okay to feel that way, but let's not stay for long. Let's not stay longer here." And with his warm guidance and the wonderful food he provided and the wonderful nature I was in, I was ready to let go my painful past and also to dive deeper into therapy. And now I was ready. I was ready to develop my own methods to deal with my emotions. So I developed the why, how, and when method. Whenever I feel angry, I ask myself, why should I react this way? What does it bring to me or others when I react this way? How can I react differently? Do I need a bath? Or do I have to talk with others? And when can I start? Can I start now? Or after I have took a bath? Or maybe in a few months when the emotions could sink in and I had the time to let them go. This method was my guide. And with a lot of deep breaths and a lot of reflection, and with the help of wonderful people like my friends, my family, I could find my way back to Alafia. And finding my way back to Alafia, I could provide a home for my son. And since 2019, he lives again with me. In finding Alafia, I could finish my bachelor degrees last year with great honors. And in finding Alafia, I could find a love for life, which allows me to walk barefoot in the rain, no matter how cold or gray it is. What if we learn to reflect more? What if we learn to know what our triggers are? What if we learn to breathe more before we react? What kind of world would we provide for the children, for the next generation? Peace isn't about great emotions and great gestures, and it doesn't come easily. It's about rising above the violence. Violence ends with us. Change is in all of us. Peace is inside of us. Will you start to reflect more every day? Find your Alafia.